right, viewers, now for the next dish, Amatriciana. Now, it would have to be one of the most misused words. Amatriciana comes from a town of Amatrice in the Abruzzi, which is in the northern part, I guess, north of Rome. Originally, it was a dish that was white, basically using the cheese, pecorino cheese. Of course, when tomatoes were introduced from the New World into Italy, the colour of that dish actually changed. And believe it or not, when all the shepherds came down, or all the country people came into the city of Rome, they took their version of this, and then the Romans actually claimed it as their own. It's a really beautiful story, but of course, quite incorrect to say alla matriciana. It's actually Amatriciana, which is the name of the town. So you're going to give us your take on this, aren't you?
So let's go.
All right.
First, I put on a pot of water, salted. Then, while that's boiling, we can start with the ingredients. So I get a brown onion, chop that up, and make sure you get ready to cry, because I usually do. So I've got my tissues on the side here, I think. With this one, I chop it a little bit like thin, like I'll show you now what I do. It's just a bit thinner so it cooks quickly, because this dish doesn't take too long. So just thin slices, thinly. So then it doesn't take too long to cook. It's pretty fast. Okay, once you've chopped up your onions, just put them to the side and get your garlic ready to just do the same. So just give it a bang. The peel on, just break it, and the peel comes off easily. Of course I did. One or two. I'll just use one. And then we get ready to cut up the guanciale. Okay, after you've sliced your guanciale, try to slice it thin, get a sharp knife, then just chop it up again, cube it, get it ready. Now I know with Amatriciana, you know, you can use bacon or pancetta, but the traditional Amatriciana dish, they use guanciale. So that's why we're using this today, just to show you a traditional dish. We go to the peperoncino, and as my dad always says, peperoncino a day keeps the doctor away. So we just roughly chop this up. Now, it's optional, but Amatriciana, you know, for the children, you can just leave that out, but it's nice, just a touch of chili, or a lot. So I just chop these. You can even use the chili flakes as well, but today I'm using Dad's chilies from his garden that we've dried. Now the last ingredient is peeled tomatoes, which I puree with a whiz, or you can, whatever you're comfortable with. Now I use a particular brand, but there's so many peeled tomatoes on the market, so whatever you're comfortable with. So now for the process of cooking our Amatriciana. We need a hot pan. Now I don't use any oil because the guanciale has its natural oils. So you will see that when you cook it. So I put that in the pan, and that'll slowly start to brown. Take about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Then I add my onion. So toss that around so it softens a bit. Then your garlic. Cook for about 10 minutes. Just keep on stirring because maybe the guanciale will stick. But you will see there will be a lot of oil there, natural oil from the guanciale. Now with the guanciale also, just another thing, you can eat it raw and it's not as salty. So we have to be careful, don't add any salt until the end, like about after you've added your tomato puree. Then taste it, because we're going to put salt in the water for the pasta. And with the guanciale, when we cook it, all the salts come out. So just watch that, don't add any salt until the end, and then taste, you know, whatever, if you want more salt, or don't add any. So after we've put the guanciale, the onion, the garlic, the peperoncino, that's been cooking for about, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, add your tomato puree. Stir. Now cook this for about 15 minutes, but you'll know when it's cooked when a beautiful oil rises to the top, and then that will be cooked. Leave that simmering. Now in the meantime, your water's boiled, you add your pasta, cook it for on the most packs of pasta. There's the cottura, which is the cooking time, and with the pasta that we're using today, it's the penne is 12 minutes. So put your pasta in. When that's all cooked, your sauce is still cooking. Drain, and then just add your sauce to this pasta dish. Taste, and then just add some parmigiano. Et voila, Amatriciana, traditional style.
Teresa, that was absolutely amazing. And of course, the one thing I have to say, she has remained true to the Italian theme. Teresa used guanciale, of course, which is a specialty of Lazio, central Italy. Guanciale is very similar, I guess, to the curing of pancetta, in that it is the pig's jowl, so it's a bit softer, more delicate. And of course, it's cured with sugar, salt, pepper. You can have thyme, you can have fennel, you can have whatever. So it's a very, very intricate part of this dish. Is it not?
Yes, it is.
And the chili flakes, is it a oomph?
Oh, but I use the fresh chili.
Yes, and that is really very special. All right, now for the next recipe, you're going to be doing your take on carbonara.
First, we put the water on to boil. Salt it. Then we chop up your onion, as we did with the Amatriciana. So all this we need is the chopped onion, the guanciale, as we cut up for the Amatriciana. And then we need an egg mix. And this is, like a lot of carbonaras, you may have recipes that have got cream, but the authentic carbonara is just with the guanciale, onion, white wine, and an egg mixture, which I'll show you how to do. Now with the egg mixture, you use 1 egg per person. So 500 grams of pasta and 4 eggs. So 500 grams of pasta is for 4 people. That's what I usually use. And so you break the eggs in a bowl and a lot of chopped parsley. Add a good handful of Parmigiano. So you just mix that up with a fork and put that to the side. So then we go to the stove, have a hot pan, put in your guanciale, and remember, you don't need any oil because the guanciale has got its natural oils. Get that to brown, sizzle beautifully. It smells good, beautiful when you do it. And then you add your onion, let that soften, and let it cook for about 5-10 minutes, making sure it doesn't stick. Then add your white wine. And let that simmer while your pasta is cooking. When the pasta is cooked, drain. Now this is where you need everyone seated at the table, ready to eat the carbonara. So you've drained your pasta, you add your guanciale sauce to it, plus the egg mixture, stir it, add some more Parmigiano, a little bit more parsley, and voila, in the plate, and everyone's ready to eat.
Carbonara, now isn't that just a dish of the 70s? As a student at university, that's what we used to fill up on. Now, it's a very interesting dish. Now, of course, it's best to take always a noodle, be it a spaghetti or tagliatelle or whatever. So that's the important thing, which you did.
Yeah.
And of course, it is a dish that has quite obscure origins. I carbonari, of course, were the coal workers in Italy. And they often say, be this a myth or not, we're not quite sure, but they often say that it was invented post World War II when the American GIs were in Italy. And of course, the Americans, they knew bacon and eggs, yeah? So the Italians knew guanciale e uova. And the other part of the dish, of course, the Italians having cheese and spaghetti. So they amalgamated all these ingredients and we ended up with spaghetti alla carbonara. So it's a really beautiful story.
You're such a wealth of knowledge.
I am. But I guess the important thing is that we don't use cream.
No.
Cream is something that dilutes the flavour, and if the egg is kept liquid enough and you add a bit of the water from the spaghetti, it just gives it a beautiful shine.
It's beautiful.
Good for our hips. All right. Stay tuned for this next recipe.